Hello and welcome back to our podcast, The Social Spectrum. Today we're diving into how celebrities influence public opinion. A brief explanation on celebrities' influence on public opinion refers to the way famous individuals such as actors, musicians, athletes, or influencers shape how people think, feel, and behave. Because celebrities are so highly visible and often admired, the public tends to trust their opinions and pay attention to their messages. This influence can affect political views, consumer choices, social attitudes, and even health behaviors. To start off with a current event, recently Taylor Swift posted an Instagram reminding her followers to register to vote. And just within 24 hours, voter registration sites reported thousands of new signups, and that is very big coming from just a singular post of an influencer. And what's interesting is that she didn't tell people who to vote for just to participate. Her influence alone was enough to push people to take action. One social concept that explains this is the parasocial relationships. These are one-sided relationships where a person feels emotionally connected to somebody who doesn't actually know them, like a celebrity or an influencer. Fans feel like they know the celebrity personally, so their opinions feel more trustworthy, relatable, and that emotional connection increases the celebrity's persuasive power. According to a study published by Psychology of Popular Media in 2023, people with stronger parasocial relationships are more likely to adopt a celebrity's political opinion or voting intentions. Researchers found that trust and emotional closeness were the biggest predictors of whether somebody would follow a celebrity's influence, so it makes sense why the Swift's audience were so responded so quickly. A few questions that we can discuss is, why do you think young people respond strongly to political messages from celebrities than politicians?
I think it's mostly because, people that are also younger, right? You're thinking more high school or maybe even earlier than that. Someone like Taylor Swift, you have people that are 10 years old listening to Taylor Swift. Mm-hmm. No one really looks at a politician at 10 years old and is like, oh my God, I can't wait to wear that suit.
Yeah.
It's more of like, I can't wait to be a star.
Yeah, I feel like that has to do a lot about like the upbringing too, because I feel like more people are like more going to be more into like the celebrity view than like the political like view and stuff. So if they see like since it is a younger audience, younger people are usually more influenced than older people, so I feel like that also plays a big role into like how things are like perceived and stuff now from a celebrity, so it'll just be easier to take their choice than politicians.
Celebrities are also much more entertaining, so when you like constantly watch or keep up with a celebrity that you like, you're gonna identify with them more and want to be more like them and think what they think. Halo effect, if you will.
Do you think parasocial relationships are helpful, or how can they make people easily influenced?
I don't think they're helpful. I think like there's like a healthy way to like, I think, be a fan. I mean, like the longer, like fan is like a shorter word for like fanatic in a sense. So like in a way, like being a fan is already kind of like seen as like not a great thing, like I guess if we're going by the word fanatic, but like parasocial and like all that, it's like you're taking it to another level, to the point where like a lot of people will like project like their like ideals onto celebrities, to the point where like they like kind of like take aspects of their of like these famous celebrities and like take them as their own. And so like in a way, it just like kind of feels like they're just like trying to become the celebrity in a sense, and like maybe not like the fame aspect, but like how like their clothes or like how they look and stuff like that. So it's really just like, it's not really a healthy thing to do, and I feel like you have to be like not all the way there to like engage in something like that, because like there's a difference between like liking somebody's music or like liking somebody's movies or stuff like that, and just like being obsessed with like every single little thing they do. like to the point where it just like comes off as like, okay, so like you're stalking them now at this point.
Yeah.
Stalkers.
Yeah, because I feel like they are very easily influenced. Just for like, just because like the upward social comparison, like people see how like talented she is, and like like it gives like young people like the boosted self-esteem to like want to compare themselves to like her success, and like just like everything like she supports. Clearly it showed like how many political like people she was able to get to just vote, not even like have a direct opinion on it, just to like vote.
I also think with celebrities, like people are less likely to have like think for themselves and like have their own opinion. Like they may say it's their opinion, but it's probably because they're just exposed to it from their favorite celebrities, so they don't really critically think too much about it.
It's all shared. It's all a shared opinion.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then my last one was, should celebrities speak on political issues, or does that give them too much power?
I think it gives them too much power in a way, but I also think that there's nothing wrong with, you know, putting your opinion out there, letting people know how you feel about a topic. There's nothing wrong with that, but it's when you start pushing how you feel onto everyone else, saying this is how you need to feel too, then I think it's a problem. I think there's too much power, because they do have the power to do that. Someone like Taylor Swift can say, you got to vote for this person, or you have to do this, and people will listen. So I think it's more of like, they do have the power to do so they need to be careful with what they do say.
Yeah. I think if a celebrity is gonna share their opinion, like give a disclaimer.
Yeah.
Like, this is just my opinion. Like, I'm not telling you to think this way. You know, like, 'cause if someone does end up thinking something just because the celebrity said that, at least they like did give a disclaimer, so it's not like fully on them. Like they're just like being like, hey, like I'm not an expert, but like,
Yeah.
this is what I think.
Yeah, I feel like it could also change a lot of political views, because maybe somebody who like doesn't have a political view at all, and now all of a sudden like their favorite artist is now like talking about like certain stuff and motives that like they support, they'll kind of be like, I mean, yeah, since I don't have an opinion, I'll go with that. You know what I mean?
So like this person, so
Yeah.
we must
Yeah.
associate with the same kind of.
Yeah, so I feel like that could also like cause conflict between people, because it's like if somebody really doesn't have a view on something and they're just like, oh well, I got this view from Taylor Swift, you know, someone might look at you and be like, well, maybe you should do more research like on your political view, or like on the things you're supporting, because you know to somebody else it could be wrong, but to you like, oh, Taylor Swift supports it, so I support it too, you know. And I feel like that could also cause conflict between people and like opinions on like everything.
That's true.
I've actually had a neighbor like that too. I remember he was actually talking to me one day, and he was like, you know, I just found out that this actor voted for like Trump or whatever, and then he went right out and he was like, I can't believe that guy is such like a piece of crap. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so now all of a sudden he hates this person that he used to love his entire life, grew up watching him, everything, but now he voted for him and now he hates him. All just like that, just because of like a political, you know, tie, affiliation, whatever you want to say. But
I mean, I think it comes from the fact that like people should like view celebrities in a sense where like just like, okay, these people are making a movie, they're making music, and I'm just gonna leave it at that, and everything else is just like out of the way, because like I feel like whenever like you project like your idea of how you think a celebrity will act, you're always gonna end up like with your foot in your mouth at the end of the day, because it's like at the end of the day you don't know them, so it's like it's hard to just be like, okay, I like this person, so they must share the same values as me because I like them, but then it turns out they don't. It's just like the cognitive dissonance of it just like throws you off.
So to go along with like Taylor Swift, the person that I noticed was Ariana Grande and even Cynthia Erivo. They're probably the most recent, you know, people that I can think of that have had a big impact on society lately. I mean, I think it literally started last week with the way that their bodies look, and it's not making fun of them or anything like that. It's more of that people are starting to go on there. They are looking very sickly almost in a way, or very thin, whatever you want to call it. And even Ariana Grande's been on like a decline of weight and stuff like that since her movie with Cynthia Erivo. So people are now worried, even parents are talking about how now my child wants to look just like that. And if they have an underlying issue an underlying issue of like, you know, hey, maybe they're on drugs or maybe they're starving themselves or it's something like that. Now parents have to be worried about their children. The children will do whatever it takes to look like their idol.
Yeah. I think part of that is like the in-groups and out-groups type of things. If you really identify with the celebrity and you want to be like them and they're your role model, you want to be part of like the group that they're in, so you want to like do what they do and look how they look, and if they're doing it, then it's okay.
Exactly.
Yeah, I feel like that also just brings a lot of like tension with like, you know, like body dysmorphia and like looks and stuff and like self-perception and like self-esteem. Like it's all just gonna like tie into like social comparison, just because like, you know, Ariana Grande doesn't promote bad looks. She
No, she
just
doesn't.
you know, people
Or drugs.
People just take their own way of like how they're gonna do things. Like, I need to look like her, so this is what I'm gonna do.
Well, it's like going back to what you guys both said actually with like the halo effect, but now introducing authority bias. You know, Ariana Grande is someone who's widely admired by many people, young, older, whatever you want to say. She's very talented, people find her attractive, and she's a very successful individual. So they're more inclined to trust her. They're going to see her as someone who she's got to have good judgment, because if she's so successful, maybe I need to do the same things to be successful in life too. Not even just with the way she looks, but her money, how successful her singing career is, her acting career. How can I have those things too?
Yeah.
Well, the article that I ended up finding was a study that focused on celebrities' image and how they align with like a brand and their overall effect on its viewers or the buyers of the brand. So there was a negative like stigma around it, basically saying how the celebrity should have a backfire on its viewers that can damage like how people view the celebrities themselves. So back to Ariana Grande, people think they should look like that. Now they have an underlying illness or they get sick from it for some reason. Now all of a sudden she's gonna have a negative like look towards everybody else. So now people aren't gonna like Ariana Grande anymore.
Yeah.
They're gonna say that she's the reason why my kid is sick.
Yeah. They're gonna make it seem like her fault.
Exactly. The study also talked about multiple theories, so like source credibility model and balance theory. So they explain why celebrity endorsements influence consumers, basically because celebrities act as like a credible source almost. They think that they're basically a doctor telling people what they should do at certain points.
Because they have that much influence.
They know they have the influence. They know that they don't even need a good reason to back it up with. They can just say, I'm this person, and now you're gonna do what I told you to do, and I know that.
Yeah.
Back to Taylor Swift literally saying something, and she didn't force it on people, but go vote. Like obviously everybody knows where she leans, and they're gonna go do the same thing.
Yeah.
So it's like almost like a sneaky version of telling people what they're gonna do. One of my discussion questions was, when a celebrity endorses a message or to a person or to his or her viewers, does it help awareness or does it put everyone else at risk, like with the thought around it?
I feel like it depends on the message.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like we could tie self-esteem to that. Ariana Grande is promoting body positivity, but like she obviously has an ongoing issue with herself, but like I feel like that is like boosting self-esteem to like fans, like validating like how they look. I feel like when you take away like the I want to look like her, at the end of the day, like she's saying like how I look is okay, like how you look is okay. Like we need to stop like focusing on our like our body types, our body looks. And I feel like that can also like boost our self-esteem, because it's like hearing a message like that coming from a celebrity, and it's like, okay, well she's telling me that like I should like how I look because she likes how she looks. Like I'm gonna feel better about myself, and like people aren't gonna be sitting there like comparing themselves to like the beauty standards, like the unrealistic beauty standards in like the world today. So I feel like it really like depends on the message. Like if like it's a supportive message, like try to help, or like.
Because I feel like you can say like a message and it can like influence people, that people can just take it like too far, like the beauty image or whatever, like body image. Like I feel like people are more concerned about like I want to look like this rather than their overall health,
Yeah.
and I feel like that should come first, but it usually doesn't.
No, they care more about what they look like than
Yeah.
how, they don't care what it takes to get there.
Yeah.
Like I think there was, I don't know if it was a Kardashian or something, they were talking about like putting worms that was eating the extra food in their
yeah, I
stomachs.
remember that. Yeah.
So it was eating all the extra, and
Yeah.
it was creating like that they were getting sick from it. They had to get them surgically removed and stuff like that. But they don't care how they get there; they're gonna make it happen.
Yeah.
Another question I had: so how should these public figures, celebrities, be like balancing their influence like responsibly when they're talking to their viewers, their fans? Like they need to know like what they're saying is going to have an impact. So how should they go about their views or opinions?
I feel like we should have like a disclaimer and be like, I'm not like an expert, like this
Yeah.
is my opinion,
Yeah.
like this is how I got here, but like I don't have like the knowledge to like an extreme extent.
Yeah, I
Like
agree.
you know what I mean? Like
Yeah, I feel like there can't be much off of that, but a disclaimer. Like I feel like that's
Yeah.
the best. Like
honestly,
if you're
yeah.
if you are truly gonna talk about something, you should
yeah.
have like at least a disclaimer out there.
Yeah,
Or,
and
like,
just this is just my opinion. Like I'm not telling you to like
yeah.
follow it. So
Yeah, cause I mean, at the end of the day, cause people are gonna like, whenever they see celebrities say something, they're gonna like listen to it regardless. So the least they can do is just say, hey, I'm not a doctor. You don't have to take everything I say, like, at its word. Like, you can just take it with a grain of salt at all
Yeah.
times.
Because they take it as gospel, basically.
yeah,
Like this is the
Yeah.
Bible. What she says is Bible. It's written in.
yeah.
My final question was, what can listeners or fans do to stay informed with like celebrities, but at the same time like know when it's time to stop and not go too far? Like when does a fan say that enough is like enough? Like I love this person, but how should they personally know
I feel
that
like
I should stop?
a fan is like I feel like they'd have a hard time knowing when enough is enough, just because like I feel like some people get so into their heads about like being so
Yeah.
persuaded because they're like I need it. But I think like enough is enough when like you start to realize that like either your mental's declining or like it's not a realistic thing to get at. Like
Yeah.
you might not have like the money for it or the health or like the support or like anything. So I feel like when it should get to a point where it's like I don't think like I can mentally keep up with this. Maybe I need to
Yeah.
look at a different direction or maybe see that like they're not completely like all there.
And also do your own research.
Yeah,
And all like credible sources, please.
need more doctors and
I heard
Less
on
celebrities.
TikTok.
yeah, TikTok's a new thing.
Yeah.
So mine was pretty much focused on like how you hear like you always hear about specifically actors who like get these like really difficult and intense roles and like they're told like they need to gain weight or they need to lose weight for the roles, and you hear actors like Christian Bale who is known for like extreme weight loss and like weight gain and like pretty much how that's like celebrated as like somebody that's really in tune with their role and like they take their role seriously and they you always hear like they get rewarded for it, like they get Oscars for it, and like in like the public's eye it's kind of seen as like, okay, this actor's like really dedicated to their craft, they're really good at what they do, and it's like they're doing this and it's like it's okay, even though like losing weight and gaining weight in like a very short period of time is not good for anybody. So like one of my questions is like, does like the public celebration of like weight loss or like weight gain kind of like normalize like dieting in a way or like eating disorders like amongst like the general public, or do you think that it doesn't?
I feel like this kind of ties into like when we discussed like upward social comparison, because like people are seeing how somebody like him is sacrificing like his comfort and health for art, and they feel like they need to match that commitment.
Yeah, I also feel like just because we see it so much, it's become more of a norm.
Yeah.
And it's not.
Yeah.
So like we're used to it, and like when people follow that, it's
Yeah.
just like it's doesn't seem as bad as it
Yeah.
usually
Like I
is.
feel like like an example off of that would be like a fitness, like a person in fitness
yeah.
might see that and like compare themselves like, well, if he was able to do that so fast, like
Yeah.
I need to push myself harder to like
Mhm.
match his results.
True.
And like it could also just like collide with people's own personal like values or priorities, like how they prioritize themselves.
Yeah, because one of the studies I found, it was reevaluating beauty's moral stereotype by examining the impact of personal liking. And it pretty much talks about how like beauty is moral, and like people will just see somebody beautiful, specifically a celebrity, and just like take whatever they say at face value, and whether or not like they're like a good person or not, like kind of just like it's not part of the equation. It's more so like, okay, this person is beautiful, so they must be doing something right. So
Yeah.
therefore, I'm going to take everything they say as face value and not really put much question into it because they're beautiful.
Yeah.
So,
I feel like that ties into like lower self-esteem too, because it's like we're looking at this person who is able to go like from such heavy weight to drop all that weight, like, and now you're like, oh well, like now like I can't achieve this standard.
Because they're doing
it's
it within like a month.
Yeah,
And then
like, yeah,
we're
like-
trying to do it at the gym, and we're like, but no
like,
matter
what's
what we do,
going on?
it's not working.
Yeah, it's just like lowering our self-esteem, like, you know.
Yeah.
Well, I feel like that kind of brings in like an availability heuristic part of social psychology, because you know people. It says that people judge what is normal or like what comes to their mind easier. So if we think that, oh wow, this guy lost weight in 2 weeks, he gained like 30 pounds of pure muscle in 2 weeks. Oh, that's easy then. If he can do it, I can do it. And now in our minds, we're gonna do the same thing that they just did, and then it'll tie back into what you said with, wait, I just did it for 2 weeks too. Why isn't it working for me? Now I'm sad, or now
Yeah.
I'm in a downward spiral.
my second question would be, how do you think like the celebrities that go through like not even just like in acting, but just like extreme like weight loss differences or weight gain differences, like clash with like conversations about like, you know, body positivity and like unrealistic beauty standards that celebrities perpetuate?
I think that kind of goes together with how people. So if people see like a celebrity, or not even a celebrity, like you said, like you can see somebody walking down the street, and you're like, wow, I want to be him, or I wish I looked like her.
Yeah.
So now we approve what they look like, but we want to look like that too.
Right.
So it almost brings in a normative social influence, because now we're seeing people all over social media. They have, wow, look at this guy's weightlifting. Like he's so strong. Look at all this page. It's just he's huge. He's jacked.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Huge muscles. Or this girl, look how thin she is, or whatever it may be. And now it ties into that. We approve of everybody but ourselves.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel like this could also be a good thing about the cognitive dissonance theory. Says we were motivated by a desire for cognitive consistency. So I feel like people may have like the dissonance if their habits or like beliefs like conflict with Bale's commitments.
Yeah.
So it's like by adjusting our attitudes, we can say like, oh, I admire like his discipline, but I don't need that to be successful. And then adjusting our beliefs would be, oh well, I need to try a stricter diet or like stricter workout so I can like align with his like looks or like with his dedication. I'd say to like, okay, I need to lose this amount of weight for this movie, but they made it for this movie. So I feel like that plays like a good like example in like his dramatic body transformations.
I guess the last one would be like, is it like, where's like the line drawn between like an actor's like commitment to like being like very skinny or very like large in some capacity, and like where does the line draw from being like, okay, he's like, he or she's like dedicating themselves to a role, or like where's the line? Like, is it like ethical to do that, or should like people encourage that type of behavior? Because I feel like nowadays, like I don't think people would be like approving of the idea of somebody losing so much weight for a role. Like I don't think, like, just to talk about like the Wicked movie, like most people are like not for that at all. So I think like nowadays people want to be here for it, but where do you draw the line at that?
Yeah, I feel like it's different just because of like like artists nowadays, like they're not gonna listen to other people's opinions. So I feel like there's no line to really draw. There's no line to really draw for them because it's like they're gonna go the highest of the highs and they're gonna go the lowest of the lows because they want to be the best of the best. So I feel like an actor is probably like a bad person to like look at stuff for because like they'll say and support one thing but then their actions will like show another. Cause like personally, like for like a line drawn like as like a personal thought, I was like I feel like people need to like understand more what's going on with like mental, like in physical like health.
There needs to be more context.
Yeah.
Well, because for all we know, these people that are doing this for like movies, whatever it may be, how do we know that they don't have a serious problem doing it themselves?
Right.
For all we know, they're going through this and it's like hell on earth.
But they can make it seem easy.
But yeah, they make it seem easy and they'll never tell you how hard their workout is or how hard it is for them to go through that, mentally or physically.
Not to mention they have like access to like weight loss drugs or anything like
Yeah.
that.
Yeah,
To
they
make
have their own
them
chefs.
Yeah.
A lot of them
Yeah.
do have home chefs, so
Yeah.
it's just not possible for someone, like especially a college student, it's not going to go look like
Oh,
Dwayne
yeah.
Johnson overnight.
Yeah.
It just isn't going to happen.
So, I actually was just using Zendaya as an example because I feel like she's like mostly like a positive like figure. Like I feel like I don't see a lot of like bad things about her just because she hasn't done anything like too like controversial, I feel like. But I think like when it comes to like influence on people, I do definitely think the halo effect and like social learning theory plays a role because she's attractive, you know, she's talented, she's done like a lot of things, she's an actress, she sings, like she's modeled, like she does like so much like that makes her look good, so that makes people think like she's credible, what she thinks about things is probably moral and correct, so they want to be like her and adopt her behavior, like fashion choices and public opinion, because she seems like she has such good character that they want to have that too, which is also like could be like related to beauty bias in a sense because she's attractive and she's also treated more favorably, and because like we keep hearing about her like in the movie she's going to be in and whatnot, that also brings about mere exposure effect, I think, because we're constantly like seeing her, hearing about her, so we get more familiar with her.
Yeah, it's like an upward social comparison.
Yeah.
Because she's like well-known, successful, like well-loved, and she sets like a high standard.
Yeah. So yeah, everyone's more likely to like her. And then she's also like a very thin and pretty person, and I feel like that also will influence people. She's not unhealthy, and like she doesn't like in the sense of like Ariana Grande. Like it's not it's not that extreme. However, there's a lot of people who are influenced by how she looks, and this research from the Newport Academy says that because of like media and like the celebrities they see, that 1 in 3 women feel pressure to change their appearance, and then 2 out of 5 women said they would give up a year of their life to achieve their beauty ideals, which is crazy to me. And then 9 out of 10 women have been exposed to harmful beauty content on social media, which isn't necessarily like related to Zendaya alone, but like people like will see how she looks and then like give like harmful tactics to get there, even though that's just how she naturally is.
Yeah, she's been like that her entire
Oh,
career.
yeah.
I think ever since I've seen her first Disney Channel up, she's kind of looked the same way throughout.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like she also promotes a lot of like skincare products and
That's
like
She does shoes, she does smart
Yeah, I
water,
feel
she does
like that
on running.
persuades-
Yeah,
Yeah, that
she does.
persuades a lot of like people to like
Mhm.
buy the brand stuff. Like that
Yeah.
also helps the brands.
Yeah, you want to be like her or whatever.
When Spider-Man comes out, it's like, wow.
Yeah.
Now, like I've seen her all over the big screen. I gotta buy everything she does.
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of like the way like her body and like her frame is, I feel like a good bit of that is genetics, and not everyone is gonna have like, not everyone obviously has the same genetics. So some people like, for them to get to look like her would be unhealthy for them, but for her it's not. Like it really just depends on.
because no one's gonna look exactly the same. No matter what.
She's also very tall.
Yeah. She
Yeah. So, one of my questions is, do you think like people rely on celebrities for like their opinions and like in different like issues like social and environmental more than they like rely on expert opinions just because like they're more like in tune with celebrities?
I would say.
like you
Oh yeah.
have,
Go first, sorry.
sorry.
No,
You can go.
All right. I was just gonna say, so she's basically acting as a source, right? A doctor,
Yeah.
a medical doctor, somebody is a source.
Mhm.
You're gonna trust your doctor.
Yeah.
So they view her as somebody that's as high level as that. So you
Uh-huh.
can bring the persuasion and source credibility model
Mhm.
of psychology.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because now she's someone that's attractive, she's someone that people want to be, and people are gonna
Yeah.
view her as a source expert. So
Yeah.
now she's trusted. She's a complete trusted source. She's up there. If a doctor says this, well,
Yeah.
now I want to know what Zendaya thinks about it too.
Yeah,
Yeah,
I think
especially-
the other thing with that too is like there's so much stuff we want to try, and like a lot
Yeah.
of people either don't want to spend the money on it because they don't know if they like it, or like, well that. But so I feel like it's easier like when you see these celebrities and stuff like buying the things you want or like spending the money on things you want and then listening to their opinion on it because it's gonna help you be like, okay, so since she said that, maybe I won't like it. But then
Yeah.
maybe they influence you enough to buy it, so it's like you buy it and then you end up loving the product.
Yeah.
So then it's like, wow, like okay, she was a reliable source. So now the next time when this new like perfume or this new Starbucks item or makeup product comes out, like I'm
Yeah.
gonna go to this person because
Mhm.
I liked their opinion on it the first time, so they'll have to have a good opinion on it the next time.
It must be
And
credible.
let me know
time.
if I will
Yeah.
like it or not.
Yeah, it's like peripheral messaging where people like
Mhm.
focus on like the superficial aspects of celebrities, and so like it's like they probably aren't like saying much about like what they're promoting at all, but people just see like this celebrity that they like and they see that they're attractive and like very popular. They're gonna be like, okay, so this person's saying it, so there must be some validity to it since I like them as an actor and I think they're good looking.
Mhm. And then another question I have is, do you think fans like will imitate celebrity behaviors more like online than they will in person? Like, do you think, for example, like if they'll be like, oh, you should do this and this, but then like not actually follow that themselves?
Yeah, I feel like it's easier to do things in private than like in public. I guess like not
Like-
like private and public, but like I feel like it's easier to like just like do stuff online than like
Because you're almost hiding behind a screen. How people
Yeah.
perceive us.
Yeah.
There's a lot of people who are like, I don't care what other people think, and yeah, that's true. But a lot of people don't.
yeah, like
What
behind
most
closed
people
doors, like
yeah.
we're all different people, and then we come
Yeah.
out to public, and it's like
We're too worried about what everybody else thinks. So
Yeah.
we're gonna do this now. How's it gonna negatively impact me?
Yeah.
So
Also, people on like social media, on Twitter, like it's a whole atmosphere essentially that's being created to like stan culture is like
Yeah.
a whole thing within itself, which kind of just shows like how like celebrities will have like these very like cult like fan bases, and like it will just like kind of like bleeds into like real life sometimes. Like you kind of see it more like nowadays, like you see like you have like messages about like certain like stan groups that are like more, I guess, problematic than others. So it's like it kind of like in a way, I don't know how to exactly explain it, but like it definitely is something that happens more online than it happens in real life, because I don't encounter people that are like people like celebrities, like they listen to certain musical artists, but like I never hear someone like I stand them so much, like it's
In
like
person.
a constant thing. Like
Yeah.
it's kind of like embarrassing to do that, I would think, like to really like do that, whereas people are kind of just have like a more like realistic attitude. It's like, oh, I like their music and I like their movies.
One last question I have is, I feel like I have mixed opinions on this one, but when people like, so if someone's like favorite celebrity, let's say, like says or does something controversial, do you feel like they're more likely to defend that person just because you're like their favorite celebrity, or do you think? Yeah.
I don't think so. Like I feel like I don't know. I mean, it depends like the person and like what they do, because I feel like
Yeah.
there's a lot of celebrities out there that like do some like crazy stuff, and like
Yeah.
some people will either just be like, I mean, well, it's like whatever, but then other people will like take it personally and be like, I
Yeah.
will never stand them again, and then other people will be
Yeah.
like, why not stand them? Like they did this, you act like you haven't done it, but like, you know,
Yeah.
when a celebrity does
Yeah.
it, all of a sudden it's
'Cause
like,
they
oh, I
pop.
can't
Yeah.
support them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like they did this or they said that or they, I don't know.
And some things are just like more like some people like take like stuff celebrities do that are like kind of minuscule in nature. Then you have
Yeah.
some celebrities that do extremely heinous things and they kind of like conflate the two.
Yeah.
And it's just like it's not the
Uh-huh.
same.
Yeah.
It's like there's
Yeah.
some things that are just like most people will agree that it is just not okay, and there's just other things that people are just like, I mean, yeah, that's not really good, but like,
Yeah.
who
Yeah.
cares?
It's like a serious like felony or criminal aspect. There's people
Yeah.
that are
Right.
like you brought up cult like things.
Yeah.
People are a little bit above and beyond when it
Yeah.
comes to stuff like that.
Yeah.
All right. Well, thank you for listening to today's episode on celebrity influences on public opinion. It's obviously clear that social psychology helps us understand celebrities' voices and how they could be so powerful. I'm Sienna Mediolo.
I'm Joe Reynolds.
I'm Alexander Narcisse.
And I'm Emily Davis.
And we're the social spectrum. All right.